darling, I have something for you straight from the set of the HBO Harry Potter series, and I swear you're going to feel that giddy little flutter in your chest, the one that comes from seeing Hogwarts come alive again. Now, yes, the Daily Mail has gone and said iconic Quidditch students, but my best guess, and you know I trust my gut on these things, is that this is actually the first flying lesson. Oh, don't roll your eyes at me yet. Hear me out. Draco, Ron, Neville, all present. Neville, the poor little darling, he never plays Quidditch in the first book. And Draco, he wouldn't be on the team yet. And Ron, well, he's still fumbling over everything. Honestly, it just fits better with a flying lesson. And the photos? Harry's in full school uniform, shirt, tie, the works, nothing remotely sporty. You can almost see the tension in his little shoulders, the exact moment he's thinking, please don't let me fall off this broom. Now, before I get carried away, oh, and darling, make sure you've subscribed. You'll want to be here when I uncover the truth behind, well, okay, spoilers, but I promise it's juicy. I do love teasing, don't I? Anyway, back to those robes. Some folks are wondering if what we're seeing on Draco and Harry are actually just covers, rain jackets to protect the uniforms underneath, because yes, apparently it was a bit drizzly on set that day. England, am I right? Unheard of. But then, if you peek closely at Ron's double, yes, his double, not the actual Ron, you can just catch a little of the proper robe peeking from under the purplish coat. So layered magic, if you will. And can we just talk about Madame Hooch for a second? That costume? Oh my goodness, a wizard tracksuit, my darling. Yes, I said tracksuit, and yes, I know, that sounds absurd, but it works. It has this 90s PE teacher vibe, a little intimidating, practical, but undeniably magical. Think windbreaker robes that still scream Hogwarts, still have that aura of authority, but you could also imagine her rolling out of a Quidditch match without missing a beat. I might be imagining it, but I swear the cut reminds me of some old camouflage patterns from the First World War. Sorry, I said that wrong. I mean, it's just the cut. And the fandom is losing it over this already because it's such a stark, playful departure from the films. It feels fresh, it feels alive. Oh, and apparently this is just the start. Costumes for Bill and Tonks might have that punk grunge 90s influence, but wizardified, of course. I am so here for it. Back to the kids. Oh, the kids, my heart. Truly, every single one is a delight. The little Neville, precious as a, well, let's not get too poetic, but he really evokes that protective instinct. I have an actual motherly reaction. Yes, I am a grown adult, and yes, I want to hug every one of these tiny wizards. And Harry, little Harry, straight out of the Jim K illustrations, I swear. That sass, that posture, everything about him. And the casting, top notch. They've kept natural hair where possible. Draco's curls, wavy and messy rather than slicked back like Felton. My fellow lore lover, that is so important. It's its own character, separate from the movies, and yet somehow perfect. Now, a playful tangent because I can't resist. Watching these leaks, it feels a little like a Percy Jackson prophecy moment, you know? All the threads, the robes, the flying brooms, the new cast, the magical reinterpretations, they're converging into this grand, mysterious anticipation. And I just know, the moment we see Harry yell, "Give it here, Malfoy," we'll all be right back in that first-year chaos, heart in throat, stomach doing flips. I must also mention, and fans have been debating this endlessly, the maroon or purple robes. Could they be specific to flying lessons? Possibly. They're not the classic black we think of, and that's fine, darling. It gives each class, each scene, its own visual personality. And underneath, shirts, tie, different layers. Ron's clearly a tad short on his, but it's book accurate in that charmingly awkward way. Yes, even the smallest details are being noticed by eagle-eyed fans, and I adore it. And listen, the dialogue, the energy, the way these kids interact, all of it makes me giddy. Imagine hearing snippets of the full cast audiobook, remembering how cruel Malfoy is to poor Neville. Now seeing the cast, faces like innocent little candles in the dark. Ugh, the torment, the drama. You'll feel it. And yes, there are doubles in play. The Ron we're seeing in some shots is not the main actor, just a practical necessity. But even the doubles are adorable. Oh, and speaking of fashion, there's been chatter about Hooch's coat resembling a German W11 camouflage pattern. Unintentional history lesson, darling, but it adds texture, right? And fans are going wild over wizard fashion blending with Muggle influence. Shirts, ties, trousers that flare, harem-style cuts, all of it, a cohesive, magical wardrobe that feels grounded yet whimsical. I personally would take these variations over rigid book accuracy robes any day. The style team is playing, experimenting, and it's wonderful. The excitement doesn't stop there. We're talking future episodes. 2027 can't come soon enough. Fans are already counting down, speculating what scenes we'll get next. And yes, there are teasers for McGonagall, possibly glimpses of Arabella, and who knows what else. Even small details, like the little differences in robes under the maroon overlays, spark huge conversation. People notice, people care, and honestly, it warms my little bookish heart. And I love this. The children are just so small. Tiny wands, tiny robes, tiny nervous smiles. Watching them interact, fumbling encouragement, or laughing at Harry's tiny triumphant scream when he finally hovers. Now, a note about continuity. Some people wondered if the robe overlays were Muggle clothes and argued about book accuracy. My fellow lore lover, this is why adaptation is an art. Even Rowling wasn't entirely consistent. The films leaned toward visual interest over strict adherence. These new costumes, they feel consistent, magical, modern, yet tethered to the original universe. It's wizard couture. Practical, magical, and strange enough to be enthralling. Oh, and we simply cannot ignore the little things. Ron's uniform being a smidge too short, Draco's hair, the collars peeking out under the maroon coats, Hooch's tracksuits catching the wind, these are the details fans adore. They pick apart everything, and it's glorious, because it's about authenticity, yes, but also about love for the world. The same applies to Neville. Poor boy, precious, and destined to tug at our hearts when Malfoy inevitably terrorizes him. I warned you, emotional investment ahead. And before I get lost in the rabbit hole again, I always do, we need to talk about that sly tease that some fans noticed. The maroon robes might only be for flying lessons, hinting at more color-coded magical wear. Could this be the start of a visual language across Hogwarts? Possibly. Oh, imagine, a subtle wink to the keen-eyed viewers. That's a breadcrumb trail of magical world building, and yes, I am delighted. Finally, the nostalgia, darling. You feel it in every frame. Some of you weren't even alive when the films began production, and now here we are, tracking the series almost like a magical prophecy ourselves. We've got our books, our films, and now this series, a blend of past and present, and it's intoxicating. The young actors, the costumes, the set pieces, the very air of Hogwarts, it all whispers, come back, remember, feel again. That's all for now, but don't wander too far. On your screen now is our vision from my co-host for the entire first season of the HBO series, episode by episode, the way we think the magic should unfold. Go on, click it, and make sure you subscribe, love. You'll want to be here when I finally reveal more news and HBO Harry Potter TV series leaks.